The week that was on Info Live TV, I'm Margot Dudkevich. Hamas consolidated its control in the Gaza Strip, and scores of Palestinians gathered at Erez hoping to gain access into the West Bank via Israel. President Bush and Prime Minister Olmert met in Washington and discussed ways of strengthening President Mahmoud Abbas's new government. Katyusha rockets fell in the north in Kiryat Shmona, and also the Shin Bet announced they'd arrested terrorists who planned to blow up a synagogue in Modiin and also kidnap Israelis in Jerusalem. In Gaza, as Hamas consolidated its hold, a humanitarian crisis began to unfold. Palestinians seeking to flee Gaza huddled at the Erez crossing, hoping to gain entry into Israel and travel to the West Bank. After 3 days at the crossing and a Hamas-initiated gun battle, newly instated Defense Minister Ehud Olmert instructed the army to facilitate the evacuation of the sick and wounded to hospitals in Israel. Israel also allowed tons of food, cooking oil, fuel and medical provisions, and President Mahmoud Abbas swore in his new emergency government and the new Prime Minister Salam Fayyad, and enjoyed a renewal of international support. Meanwhile, President Hosni Mubarak is planning to hold a summit next week in Sharm el-Sheikh, and has invited Prime Minister Olmert and President Abbas in an effort to jumpstart the peace process. Prime Minister Ehud Olmert and President George Bush met in Washington to discuss steps to be taken to strengthen the new Abbas government. Olmert said Israel hopes to cooperate with the new Palestinian government and work toward a two-state solution. "We have an opportunity to seize the situation," he said to reporters, "and work towards the establishment of a Palestinian state." The two leaders also discussed Iran's race to nuclear power, as well as Syria. Bush addressed the situation with Syria and said that relations between Israel and Syria were Olmert's business, and that Israel does not need American approval for peace talks. He announced that America will increase its military assistance to Israel. On Sunday, 2 Katyusha rockets landed in the city of Kiryat Shmona, causing damage to vehicles and buildings, but no casualties. Residents alerted by the attack feared it was a resumption of last summer's war. However, it became apparent that the rockets were fired by Palestinian extremist groups operating in southern Lebanon. Another rocket landed near a UNIFIL position. The Israel Security Agency announced the arrest of 12 cell members affiliated with the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, who planned to blow up a synagogue in Modiin, as well as perpetrate additional attacks. The Shin Bet also arrested a Jordanian citizen who planned to kidnap Israelis in Jerusalem. Gearing for the Gay Pride Parade that begins Thursday evening in the capital, throughout the week police quelled demonstrations by ultra-Orthodox residents opposing the march, who threw stones at police and set fire to trash cans. On Thursday, thousands of police were deployed along the route the parade is to take to ensure their security. Israel unveiled the largest unmanned plane in the world at the Paris Air Show on Monday. Called Eitan, it is now operational and an indispensable part of Israel's Air Force. Meanwhile, the Indian Defense Ministry is scheduled to sign an agreement with Rafael for air defense systems to the tune of $4 billion. Playing for peace, the famous Real Madrid soccer game took a brief respite to visit Israel and play a mixed Israeli-Palestinian team at the Ramat Gan Stadium. The event was sponsored by the Erez Peace Center and drew a crowd of over 30,000. Info Live TV interviewed Noam Shalit. Meanwhile, Hamas in Gaza staged a play of Gilad Shalit's abduction. Noam Shalit said he hopes that his son will be freed soon. Meanwhile, it's also almost a year since Eldad Regev and Udi Goldwasser were taken captive by Hezbollah. And that's all this week and the week that was on Info Live TV. We hope you have a pleasant weekend, and let us all hope that our 3 soldiers, Gilad Shalit, Eldad Regev and Udi Goldwasser, will return home soon.